Hola y buenos dias de Oaxaca, Mexico. This is Ayana Mojica, Wisdom Medicine Woman. I'm inspired to document my journey on the solartarian journey to becoming more light, to expressing more light, becoming more of that solar being that I am, and to actually document, to leave for posterity my personal experience. When I was in my 20s, I had this knowing that I could possibly never die. And what do I mean by that? That I'm an eternal being, but that my body, my physical body, could actually change into light, could transform into light. That I could have a light body. And this is way before it became popular to talk about the light body and the Breatharian journey, the solartarian journey. But I had this knowing. But I didn't see anyone doing that. I didn't see hardly anyone talking about it. I didn't see anyone talking about it. And but I had this knowing, this perhaps from a past life, or even more than that. Since we come from the stars, I must have brought that information and knowing to planet Earth during this incarnation. The words I'm speaking are from my own personal experience. And I realized that most people that know me don't know the depth of my personal spiritual journey. I kept a lot quiet because I was unusual. No one was talking about changing into light, eating light. So I kept it quiet. But I want to be sure that I document, because one day someone's going to be looking for this information, transitioning into light, celestial beings, turning your body into a light body. Forgive the dogs. They're excited. They're getting fed. So they're like, woo, getting fed. I'm getting fed. Aren't we like that? You know, we know it's time to eat, so we get excited and we're getting fed. But it's not just the physical body getting fed. We get excited when we're being fed spiritually, when we're being fed energetically. We get excited to be able to plug in, right? That energy source. So now they're quiet. They're gonna gobble that food down in like 1 minute. Literally, they go. And so anyway, that's why I'm putting out more and more videos, because I'm getting more and more comments about like eating everything that, like watching, listening to everything, reading everything that I put out there. And so I said, oh, people are hungry. Yay, people are hungry. So, you know, give more, because the more we feed on light, the more empowered we are, the more vibrant we are, the more healthier we are, the more happier we are, the more full of joy we are, the more we feed on light. So I pray that every word I speak is actually a word of light to ignite who you are. Okay? So I'm going to be documenting more and more and more. I'm also peeling back. Here's this other thing. I am deep in, like here in Oaxaca, Mexico, where I do everything I do, has a spiritual foundation, energy foundation. And this is where people from around the world come to visit me to receive initiations, to receive the teachings, to receive the healings. And so if that's you, reach out, right? We could do that in person, and we could do that online or on the phone. But I love when people come and visit, because there's this energy exchange that happens that could only happen in person. So I'm documenting my journey, and I know I'm saying a lot of things right now, but this is it. When I was younger, when I was in my 20s, I was already thinking about transitioning into light. And so in the other video, I mentioned, one of the other videos, I mentioned that I had a supernatural experience where I went into a 40-night fast. So let me talk about that a little bit. I was working on my master's program in fine arts and dance. And I was on a break. I was on a summer break. And, I was on the summer break, and, it's nice to have us, you're free. And I had gotten into the habit. I was consistent. And here's a tool, being consistent. I was in the habit of every morning getting out of bed, getting on my knees to pray and to sing these beautiful songs of adoration. They were celestial songs. They were songs of pure light. And I would raise my hands up, and I would just sing these songs that had no words, and they were pure light. And I was singing about my loving devotion to God. So I would do this every morning and every night, just before I went to bed, and again in the morning when I rose. And then one day, because I was on my break, I started doing midday. So morning, midday, and night. And one of these days in the midday, I lifted my hands like that to thank God and to sing these songs of love and adoration that were pouring out from my heart. They were not in any earthly language. And when I did that, I had the sense that the heavens opened up, and I was lifted up. I was captured up. I was lifted up into the heavenlies, and with beautiful angels, and they were joining in on the songs, with the songs. It was amazing. And I had no awareness for hours. I was in the state of bliss. I was in a state of ecstasy. I was in a state where I was singing with the angels, and I was elevated into a place that when I came out of that, I didn't come back to my normal self. I was spontaneously, supernaturally activated into a 40-day and 40-night supernatural fast. No eating, no drinking, barely sleeping. And I had the Bible, and it became illuminated. Like the words that were written, it's like spirit just came, the light just came and illuminated the deeper mystical meanings, the meanings, the greater understanding, the gnosis, the pure light information. That's what was happening. And now I know the term illuminated manuscripts. Look it up. That's where I was. And the light surrounded me. The light was within me and outside of me and through me. And I was in this vortex of light that was so beautiful. 40 days and 40 nights. When I came out of that, and I don't recall going out much. But when I finally did at the end of this, some of the friends that I had at that time, they were like, wow, you're just like full of light. It's like light is all over you. And so that was the reflection I received. That began a new chapter in my life. That began the chapter of living on light. So that's just a little bit of my quite unusual life and the beginning of this initiation, activation into pure light and what we would call now the solartarian journey. I'll share more on fasting. I'll share more on the supernatural experiences that I've had, but also the practical, the practical things that I have done on this journey to bring me to this point. If you are inspired by anything I have shared, if you're encouraged, if you're comforted by anything I've shared, if you're activated, if something is happening within your consciousness and your awareness and remembrance, please comment, ask questions, share, have a dialogue with one another. Subscribe, put a thumbs up. When we do that, the algorithms favor us, and then the channel popularity goes up. And more of the teachings of light, more of the teachings of joy, more of the teachings of benevolence can go out to the world and reach those who might be under a dark spell. And your words going out, just your word or even your financial support begins to take the darkness away from so many people who are still in darkness. I bless you. Please subscribe, comment, like, put a thumbs up, share. Let's get this channel going and flowing. I'll be sharing a lot more here. I'm very inspired to do that with you because you're engaging with me. I know that you love this, and so I bless you. I am Ayana Mojica, Wisdom Medicine Woman here in Oaxaca, Mexico. If you welcome assistance on this journey, reach out. Let's set up a consultation, and let's set up a program for you that I can support you. If you feel called to come to Oaxaca, Mexico, and you feel called to receive in person, these energies, these activations, these teachings, reach out. Let's get that going. I'm here for you. Blessings to you. So it is, so it is, and so it is.